Across the centuries, beneath silent stars, and within the ruins of once mighty empires, voices of wisdom continued to whisper through the corridors of time. Among those ancient echoes, the Stoics spoke quietly yet powerfully, not just about the world outside, but about the deeper universe within us, the human soul. They did not promise immunity from suffering. They did not weave illusions of a life untouched by pain, loss, anger, or fear. Instead, they offered something far more profound, a way to meet these inevitable forces with strength, clarity, and grace. Fear, anger, grief, uncertainty. Though our modern cities glitter with steel and light, though our hands grasp devices that connect us across continents, these ancient forces remain unchanged. The human heart still trembles in the face of uncertainty. The human mind still struggles with desire, disappointment, and doubt. The world around us has evolved, but the battles within us are timeless. And so the words of Epictetus, Seneca, Marcus, Aurelius, and other Stoic sages do not belong to dusty scrolls or forgotten marble halls. They live, they breathe, they speak directly to us, to the anxieties of a student before an exam, to the loneliness of a wanderer in a crowded city, to the grief of a parent who must say goodbye too soon, to the fear of failure that haunts the ambitious. The Stoics carved their wisdom not for the past alone, but for every heart in every age that would dare to listen. Their message was simple but not easy, that peace does not come from controlling the world, but from mastering our perceptions of it. That true power lies not in domination over others, but in discipline over ourselves. That freedom is not the absence of obstacles, but the mastery of how we meet them. Today, our problems may wear new clothes. Rapid technology, information overload, social fragmentation, relentless comparison. Yet beneath these new garments lie the same ancient struggles. We suffer because we forget what is within our power and what is not. We grow restless because we crave what we cannot hold. We despair because we measure ourselves by illusions rather than by inner virtue. The Stoics offer us no magic cures. They offer us tools. Sharp, simple, powerful tools forged in the fires of human experience. Tools to clarify what we can and cannot control. Train our desires and aversions, endure hardship with dignity, respond to injustice with reason rather than rage. Cultivate an inner fortress of resilience amid the tempests of fate. Imagine for a moment a man standing calmly as a storm rages around him. The wind tears at his robes, the rain lashes his face. Yet within he remains still, unwavering. That man is the Stoic. That state of being is what Stoic wisdom seeks to build in each of us. We are not called to be unfeeling stones or cold machines. The Stoics were human, flawed, passionate, deeply alive. They felt grief, love, anger, fear, but they refused to be ruled by these emotions. They sought instead to harness them, to understand them, and to rise above the chaos they could create. Today, as we navigate a world spinning ever faster, filled with noise and distraction, the call of Stoic wisdom grows louder. It calls us to pause, to reflect, to remember. It calls us to stop trying to control the uncontrollable and instead govern the one realm that has always been ours. Our own mind, our own character, our own response to life. The road is not easy. It was never meant to be, but it is real. It is possible, and it is liberating beyond measure. So today, let us walk side by side with the Stoics. Let us listen with open hearts and courageous minds. Let us discover how ancient wisdom, tempered through centuries of fire, can light the way through the modern darkness, not by erasing our problems, but by teaching us how to meet them as masters, not slaves. Let us begin the nature of modern problems. In the whirlwind of modern life, We often believe that our struggles are unique to this age. We blame technology, social media, political divisions, economic uncertainty. We look at our stress, anxiety, loneliness, and despair as symptoms of a world spiraling beyond comprehension. But the ancient Stoics would smile gently at our confusion. For beneath the glittering skin of modernity, the same ancient battles rage within the human heart. Fear, anger, desire, grief, envy, and pride. These are not new inventions. They are as old as humanity itself. Our problems today wear different masks, but their essence is unchanged, the illusion of control. Modern life seduces us into believing that we can control everything. We can control our schedules with apps. We can control our image with filters. We can control our success with endless self-optimization. But reality resists control. Traffic jams still happen. Illness still strikes without warning. Loved ones still leave. Reputations still crumble. The Stoics taught that the desperate attempt to control what lies beyond our power is the root of endless suffering. They asked us instead to shift our focus inward, to control our own thoughts, judgments, and actions. For these alone are truly ours, the tyranny of comparison. Social media news feeds, endless advertising, all conspire to feed the ancient monster of envy. We see curated highlights of others' lives and measure ourselves against them. Someone else is more successful, more beautiful, more loved, more admired. The Stoics warned against external measures of worth. They taught that true value lies not in possessions, appearances, or fame, but in virtue, living wisely, justly, courageously, and with temperance. When we measure ourselves by virtue rather than vanity, the chains of comparison fall away. The anxiety of endless choice. Modernity offers endless options, endless careers, lifestyles, ideologies, paths to follow. Yet instead of feeling liberated, many feel paralyzed. The fear of making the wrong choice, the fear of missing out, the fear of committing to one path. These anxieties eat away at inner peace. The Stoics remind us, it is not external circumstances that define us, but how we respond. Any path walked with wisdom and virtue is a good path. Any choice aligned with courage, justice, moderation, and wisdom is a right choice. Clarity comes not from endless analysis, but from grounded values. The weight of instant gratification. We live in a world of instant everything, instant food, instant communication, instant entertainment. Patience, once a virtue taught by every wise culture, is now a rare and radical act. The Stoics championed patience as the foundation of strength. They knew that anything truly worthwhile, character wisdom, love, grows slowly through steady cultivation and enduring commitment. Modern problems often stem from forgetting the slow rhythms of true growth, the noise of distraction. Rarely in history has the human mind been so bombarded. Notifications, headlines, alarms, advertisements, a relentless assault on attention. The Stoics valued focus. They taught mindfulness long before it became a modern trend. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Concentrate every minute like a Roman on doing what is in front of you, with precise and genuine seriousness." Modern problems often grow because we are too scattered to confront them directly. Reclaiming focus is reclaiming freedom. The fragility of identity. Modern culture often tells us that we are what we achieve, what we own, how we appear. But the Stoics taught that identity is built not on external trophies, but on internal qualities. Who you are is not your career, your wealth, your social standing. Who you are is your courage. When afraid, your honesty. When tempted, your kindness. When wronged, your steadiness. When storms arise. Modern life urges us to decorate the outside. Stoicism calls us to fortify the inside. the fear of death. In a culture obsessed with youth speed and surface pleasures, death is treated as a distant nightmare, but the Stoics faced death squarely. They spoke of memento mori. Remember, you must die, not to live in fear, but to live in full awareness, to cherish time, to prioritize what matters, to love fiercely, forgive quickly, act bravely. Modern problems often arise because we act as if we have endless tomorrows. The Stoics urge us to awaken today, a final reflection on modern problems. Our problems feel urgent because they are. Our sufferings feel unique because they are ours. But across the river of time, wise voices reach out. You are not alone. You are not cursed. You are facing the same storms we faced. The tools forged by the ancients' courage, patience, mindfulness, resilience, remain as powerful today as they were under the crumbling columns of Rome. The nature of modern problems is the nature of the human condition itself. And so the ancient solutions, patiently waiting in forgotten scrolls and silent reflections, are not relics. They are roadmaps. Roadmaps for the heart. Roadmaps for the soul. Roadmaps for living well. Even now, even here, even in this complicated, beautiful, broken world. Let us pick up these ancient tools. Let us remember who we are. Let us walk forward with wisdom. Control what you can release, what you cannot. In the heart of Stoic philosophy lies a distinction so simple yet so revolutionary that it can reshape an entire life. The difference between what is within our control and what is not. Epictetus, the once enslaved philosopher who rose to guide emperors and generals, taught this truth clearly. Some things are within our power, while others are not. Modern life in all its complexity and confusion often blinds us to this wisdom. We are pulled in every direction by events, opinions, ambitions, and fears. We waste precious energy, raging against the unchangeable and neglecting the only realm we truly command. Our own minds, our own choices. The Stoics urge us to reclaim our freedom by focusing on what belongs to us and releasing what does not. What is within our control? Our thoughts, our judgments, our desires, our actions, our character. What is not within our control? The actions of others, the opinions of society, the outcomes of our efforts, the twists of fate, the inevitabilities of life and death. When we mistake the uncontrollable for the controllable, we suffer needlessly. When we align our will only with what is ours, we find unshakable peace. Modern anxiety and the illusion of control. Today we are encouraged to believe that we can master every aspect of our lives. We track every calorie. We optimize every minute. We monitor every metric. Yet despite this obsession with control, anxiety soars because deep down, we know that we cannot command the world. We cannot prevent misfortune. We cannot guarantee success. We cannot force others to love, respect, or understand us. The more we try to dominate what lies beyond our reach, the more helpless we feel. The Stoics offer liberation, a way to live fiercely and freely within the bounds of reality. The power of internal mastery. If we cannot command external events, we can command our internal response. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, faced betrayals, wars, plagues, and personal grief. Yet he wrote in his Meditations, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Your opinion of yourself is within your control. Your effort toward virtue is within your control. Your commitment to justice, courage, wisdom, and temperance is within your control. Everything else is noise. Everything else is winged freedom through acceptance. Acceptance is not resignation. Acceptance is not weakness. Acceptance is clarity. Acceptance means acknowledging reality as it is not as we wish it to be. It means saying, I cannot prevent the storm, but I can choose how I meet it. I cannot control the outcome, but I can control my effort. I cannot command others, but I can command my own soul. Through acceptance, we stop wasting energy, fighting what cannot be changed. We direct our energy where it can bear fruit. Daily practice the dichotomy of control. To live this wisdom daily, pause in moments of distress. When you feel anger, fear, or sorrow rising, and ask, is this within my control? Act decisively within your sphere. If it is within your control, your attitude, your effort, your values, act with courage and precision. Release the rest. If it is beyond your control, the outcome, the opinions of others, the unfolding of fate, let it go. This practice, simple but profound, reshapes the soul over time. Examples of application. At work, you cannot control your boss's decisions, but you can control your work ethic and professionalism. In relationships, you cannot force love or loyalty, but you can offer kindness, honesty, and respect. In health, you cannot guarantee perfect health, but you can nurture your body and mind with wisdom. In politics, you cannot dictate the course of nations, but you can uphold justice in your own speech and actions. Freedom, strength, and peace. True freedom is not the ability to do anything you desire. True freedom is mastery over your own desires. Judgments and actions, true strength is not crushing others. True strength is standing unshaken amid the storms of fate. True peace is not found in controlling life. True peace is found in aligning your will with reality. A final reflection. Life will bring storms, life will bring betrayal, failure, loss, and grief. But none of these can destroy you unless you hand over your soul to them. The Stoics teach us, master yourself, and you master your destiny. Govern your mind, and you are free even in chains. Live by virtue, and no misfortune can make you less. So stand like a rock against the crashing waves. Stand firm in what is yours to command. Release the rest into the hands of fate, and walk forward unafraid. Practice voluntary discomfort. The comfort of modern life is a wonder of human achievement. Climate-controlled rooms, abundant food, endless entertainment, instant communication. Luxuries, once unimaginable, now cradle us every day, yet in the embrace of constant comfort, a hidden danger grows: fragility. The Stoics understood this danger long before electricity, supermarkets, or smartphones existed. They knew that without challenge, the soul withers, that ease, when unexamined, softens the will and clouds the mind. And so they taught not merely to endure hardship when it comes, but to seek it out, to practice voluntary discomfort. Why embrace discomfort? Discomfort is the forge of resilience. It teaches the body to endure, the mind to adapt, and the spirit to grow strong. When we voluntarily step into discomfort, we train ourselves to face real hardship without panic, build patience, endurance, and adaptability. Break the chains of dependence on external ease. Seneca, the Roman Stoic philosopher, advised, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself all the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" He did not recommend suffering for its own sake. He recommended it as training, preparation for when fate no longer asks but demands. Modern fragility. Today, many of our anxieties arise not from real danger, but from unfamiliarity with discomfort. We fear hunger because we have never fasted. We fear loneliness because we have never sat quietly with ourselves. We fear failure because we have never risked enough to fail honorably. Practicing voluntary discomfort inoculates us against these fears. It makes us harder to break and quicker to heal. Simple practices of voluntary discomfort. Fasting, skip a meal, fast for a day. Learn that hunger is not an emergency. Discover the clarity and strength that come from restraint. Cold exposure. Take cold showers. Walk outside on chilly mornings without overbundling. Teach the body to endure without complaint. Physical labor. Choose manual effort over machines. Carry your groceries, chop your own wood. Remember the strength of your own hands. Minimalism. Sleep on the floor for a night. Wear simple, coarse clothes. Live for a day without gadgets. Experience freedom from luxury, silence, and solitude. Spend time without music, podcasts, or conversation. Sit alone with your thoughts. Face the silence that reveals your true self. Financial modesty. Live for a period as if you earned less. Cook simple meals. Limit purchases. Detach identity from material abundance. The purpose is strength, not punishment. Voluntary discomfort is not self-abuse. It is not a punishment for success or comfort. It is a deliberate training of the soul. Like the warrior who sharpens his sword during peacetime, we prepare all our inner defenses before the storms come. When true hardship strikes illness, loss, betrayal, disaster, we meet it not with despair, but with a calm already forged in smaller trials. Historical examples of voluntary discomfort. Socrates walked barefoot through the icy streets of Athens, training indifference to physical hardship. Cato the Younger wore rough clothing and exposed himself to public mockery to strengthen his resolve against popular opinion. Epictetus, crippled as a slave, chose to focus on mastery of his mind rather than the comforts denied to his body. Their greatness was not born in comfort. It was born in struggle, sharpened by discipline. Freedom from the fear of discomfort. Fear of discomfort magnifies suffering. It turns minor inconveniences into major crises. It chains our happiness to fragile conditions. When you practice voluntary discomfort, you loosen those chains. You discover that you can survive hunger, that you can endure cold, that you can navigate loneliness, that you can rise again after falling. And with each discovery, fear loses its grip, strengthening the will. Every act of voluntary discomfort strengthens the will. The will is like a muscle. It grows through resistance. It weakens through indulgence. A strong will empowers you to choose what is right over what is easy. It arms you against manipulation. It steadies you when the ground shifts beneath your feet. Applying voluntary discomfort. Today, start small. Fast for one meal. Sleep without a pillow. Walk in the rain without rushing for shelter. Then expand. Take on challenges that stretch your comfort zones. Travel without luxury. Speak truth even when it risks rejection. Every voluntary hardship is a brick in the fortress of your soul. The joy hidden in discomfort. Surprisingly, practicing discomfort often awakens joy. It reconnects you with the simple pleasures of life. The savor of a meal after fasting. The warmth of the sun after a cold morning. The deep peace after an hour of silence. It reveals how little we truly need to feel alive. A final reflection. Comfort is not the enemy, but unexamined comfort breeds weakness. The Stoics call us to a higher freedom, the freedom to thrive even when comfort vanishes. By practicing voluntary discomfort, we fortify our souls, temper our minds, expand our capacity for courage, gratitude, and joy. The storms of fate will come, but if you have already trained in the rain, you will not fear the flood. Step willingly into small hardships now, and when great hardships arise, you will meet them with the calm, steady gaze of a soul already forged in fire, living Stoic wisdom today. In the chaos of modern life, the Stoic teachings remain like an ancient torch, flickering quietly, waiting for those who dare to seek a different path. The Stoics never promised a life free of hardship. They never said sorrow would not find us, or that loss would not cut deep. They simply taught this, that even amid the storms of fate, a human soul can remain free. They showed us that peace is not the absence of adversity, but the mastery of response. That strength is not domination over others, but dominion over self. That happiness is not found in chasing what lies beyond reach, but in cherishing the power we already hold within. Today we are pulled in every direction by fears we cannot control, by desires that never end, by voices louder than our own hearts. But the wisdom of the Stoics invites us to pause, to breathe, to remember, to ask ourselves each morning, what is mine to control today? How can I meet this day with courage? Wisdom, justice, and temperance. How can I walk upright regardless of how the world tilts around me? Living stoically is not about cold detachment. It is about passionate engagement with life. On life's true terms, it is about standing tall when fortune frowns, about smiling gently when praised, about moving with honor, whether seen or unseen. It is about becoming a fortress not of stone, but of character. A light not easily extinguished. A presence that calms storms, even if only within a single heart your own. And so we are called not to escape the world, but to rise within it. Not to resent hardship, but to greet it as a sculptor greets the hammer and chisel. For it is through struggle that the soul is shaped, through patience that wisdom takes root, through voluntary discomfort that true resilience blooms. The ancient Stoics whisper still across the centuries. Live as if each moment is your last, but build as if your work will endure forever. Hold tight to virtue, and you will fear no loss. Govern yourself, and no one can govern your soul. Today, this wisdom is not distant, not irrelevant. It is a bridge from confusion to clarity, from fear to courage, from chaos to inner peace. Walk the bridge, carry the ancient torch, and may your life become a quiet but unwavering example. A soul unbroken, a spirit unafraid, a human being fully alive. If the ancient Stoics have lit a torch in your heart, today do not let the flame fade. Like this video to keep the wisdom alive. Share it with fellow travelers on this path. Subscribe to our channel for more timeless teachings that strengthen the soul. Walk forward with honor. Carry the ancient wisdom into your modern life.